Afternoon, everyone. It's now 2 o'clock, and I will call this meeting of the June 15th, 2026 meeting of the Plympton Board of Selectmen to order. This meeting is being recorded for public viewing by Area 58. A reminder that the recording is not considered an official record of the board. The approved minutes of the meeting will serve as the official record of the proceedings. To begin the meeting, I'd like all those who are able to rise and please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Excuse me one moment. Did you have to mention that we returned from executive?
Yes, thank you. So, thank you for the reminder. The board had been meeting in executive session. We are returning to public session after concluding our executive session. So this meeting was originally started at 1 p.m. in executive session. We are returning to public session. Thank you. First item on the agenda is a grant from the regarding conservation restrictions with Wildlands Trust in Churchill Park at the Jones River Brook. We have to take a vote on that, so I will make a motion to approve and sign the grant of conservation restriction from Wildlands Trust, Inc. at Churchill Park at Jones River Brook property pursuant to Article 18 of the vote of the May 16th, 2012 Plympton Town Meeting and Section 32 of Chapter 184 of the Massachusetts General Laws.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's approved unanimously.
So this one is for Churchill Park,
Churchill Park.
and you need to do another motion for the Wildlands Trust, Inc. one. So this one, Churchill Park, all three of you need to sign?
Okay,
We had to wait, and so now Dan's on there,
okay.
okay?
So they have to be notarized, so I'm a notary, I'll notarize each of your signatures.
Okay. So do we need to do a
We can
second?
do this at the end of
Do we
the,
need a second vote for Wildlands Trust, or?
this is the Wildlands Trust.
Okay, so it's all,
Well,
Yeah.
that's Churchill Park, though, and then
Yeah.
you have the 134 Brook, this is on here as well. This is, it's and. Jones, yes, so you gotta do both.
okay,
This was for the 134 Brook, which was also done. We had to wait for a
Yeah,
signature, like another meeting.
okay, so
so just change the wording. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve and sign the grant of conservation restriction for 134 Brook Street pursuant to Article 18 of the vote of the May 16th, 2012 Plympton Town Meeting and Section 32 of Chapter 184 of the Mass General Laws.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
And this one was for the conservation restriction is defined in authorization by general law. This was for 33. I don't know if that makes a difference. It is,
Mhm.
Section 33?
yes, right there. Three-quarters of the way down. Is that what you just read?
Oh, right down there. Oh, Section 33.
And you said 32.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And you were the only one that signs us the check.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make a motion to change our previous vote
32 to 30.
on the conservation restriction for 134 Brook Street pursuant to Article, is it still Article 18?
Yes,
A vote?
Yes.
Okay. Pursuant to Article 18 of the vote of the May 16th, 2012 Plympton Town Meeting and Section 33, not 32, of Chapter 184 of the Mass General Laws.
Second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Now we have an update on the status of the public water supply project.
Then it'll come to me.
so if I may, so that's a project that was put forth through ARPA funding, and the concern, once that kind of fell through with the prior people that were involved, it's being rekindled again so that we don't lose that ARPA money. And one of the first things we have to do, we went through council and found that we would have to have a designer instead of a OPM on it. So putting together the bid package that's going to go out this week for a designer. The bid date would probably be on or around July 13th for the opening. And once we get that done, then it's up to the designer to bring on they'll do the procurement on that and get the people involved and do it. The goal is to get it done by the end of the year, because otherwise we lose that opera money. And from what I understand, it's lined up with enough time to get that done, unless something catastrophic happens, so.
What about the grants that we were, did we lose those? The ones?
No, these grants, are you talking about the grants from opera?
No, the ARPA, there was.
Yeah, the other ones, we
Yeah.
didn't lose those yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
One of them, it goes to October 31st.
Oh, perfect, okay.
So, yep.
Excellent.
So
I'm
it's
sorry,
all
what was the date again, you said?
July 13th, on or about, depends on everything has to go through the central register for the Massachusetts. So that's got to be put through, and also it's got to be advertised at least 2 weeks in the local paper. And then there's got to be time for questions, time for evaluation of the bids, and then a bid opening, the bid opening.
Did you say July 31st is the deadline?
No,
Okay.
December 31st is the deadline to have it completed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Before we go any further, I would like to take a moment to recognize Chief Cheryl Duddy, who was the recipient of she's thrilled about all of this. She's the recipient of the first annual Deborah Sampson Award, which was created by the Historical Society. We had intended to recognize her yesterday at the Flag Day celebration, but she was in transit, so she didn't quite make it in time. So we'd like to take a moment to congratulate her and thank her for her service to the town and recognize her deserved award.
I know you enough. Congratulations.
And speak into the microphone for your remarks.
Thank you.
Very efficient.
And as long as we interrupted the agenda, I would like to take a moment also to recognize Bridgette and her crew for all that they did yesterday to pull together a nice little ceremony that we had for Flag Day on the town green. As you know, we had to cancel Memorial Day due to the inclement weather, and we were able to put together a nice little ceremony with participation by various people, and it was a nice ceremony. Thank you, Bridgette, for doing that.
Thank you.
Shouldn't we clap for Brady?
Yeah, absolutely. You can speak into the microphone also.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have an update from the Town Properties Committee. So I know Ms. Smith is here to update that.
Working the tag team with the chief. So we did get.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
This is the estimates that are coming from the HVAC company that we
Okay.
met with. And there's actually an item on there that Chief Duddy and I were speaking about that kind of involves pays. So those just came in last week. We just got that information.
Okay, just for the benefit of those who might be watching the video, can you just kind of give a little bit of background, or one of you provide a little bit?
The citations?
Yeah, just this, so, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll summarize. So, as folks know, the existing fire station was cited by the state for deficiencies, specifically regarding water infiltration. The Town Properties Committee has been working on it along with the chief for the past several months. There was a vendor came out several weeks ago, and this is the result of that vendor. So this is the vendor's report with cost estimates. Is that fair?
That's exactly right. I like it much better when you do it. He did, I mean, the numbers did just last week, so it's something that, as a board, you're gonna have to sort of assimilate all that information.
Yep.
Kind kind of chew on it for a bit, but as Chief Duddy mentioned, Hayes is somewhat tied into this with one of their projects.
Right.
Well, she's going to Mike.
Okay.
So for citation 1-4, the water pipe near the electrical system, Pays needs to replace part of their water line that goes to the shack, and that water line is the same one that's causing the issue with the electrical panel. So they had a plumber come out and give them an estimate on the entire project, so to box in the pipe as well as replace the line to the snack shack. So I would propose that we let Pays do their work on 1-4, that way we're not duplicating the effort, and then the rest of them, to leave for the board to discuss on priorities.
So am I correct in assuming that if Pays goes through with their work, there shouldn't be any further need?
Correct.
Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. Great. So Susan, obviously, we just received this information. We'll need to, think about it. We'll probably put it on our next meeting agenda for discussion and vote. Anything else you have for us from TPC?
I was fortunate that Chief Duddy and Captain Morton were able to sit down with me, just to kind of round table information and the big elephant in the room, which is fire station. We just wanted to kind of find some common ground and propose, although we don't have a committee at the moment in the sense that we don't have a quorum. I reached out to 3 members of Plympton who have expressed interest in. One of them actually submitted an application, I believe, in the fall.
Okay.
He has construction management experience, so he may be, I reached out to him again 2 weeks ago. 2 others who won't let me throw their name out yet. But, and then I was also able to sit down with our interim town administrator in the same vein of just trying to get the information gathered on how do we take this really important project and get this moving forward. Proposing maybe a steering committee dedicated solely to this fire station project with the fire station, well, not fire station, you, the chief, members of the fire department, and there are several really knowledgeable residents in this town that don't want to hop on town properties committee, but they would be willing to serve on a steering committee dedicated to this. So, once I get a quorum together again, which I think, depending on whether or not you like the candidates, we could have that soon. So we can get things moving.
Great, thank you. So what she's referring to basically is what we've been saying on this board for the past several months. It's an important committee. We need members, and if folks are interested, please reach out to Brigitte to express their interest, and we'll look to get you up and running so that the TPC can start working again, because right now there's only 2 members and they need at least 3 to have a full committee. So we need at least one more person to step up and offer their services. So thank you in advance for that. And the email address is bosassistant, that's all one word, bosassistant @plymptontown.org. Thank you. Did someone have a question? Yeah, Mr. Wallace.
Is that an estimate that you just got on the HVAC?
Yes.
Can you share that number?
The estimate for the HVAC, it's broken down into a couple of different things, one of which was, as we just heard, may not be needed. The total number for all, there are 3 items to be remediated. The total number is just short of $20,000, $19,500. Again, it's 3 components, and each one has a slightly different price tag.
I think it's pretty reasonable.
Did you want Pays to come to the next meeting where you said, Keelan, that they would take part of responsibility of chief?
Yeah, I can email their quote to you as well.
Sure.
Or I'll email to Bridget and she can distribute it.
Perfect, thank you.
do we want them to be at our next meeting, though, is my thing.
I think if we get the quote, we don't necessarily need someone to appear. They're certainly welcome to appear if they want to comment on it or, comment on their willingness to address it, but I don't know that we need to have somebody here.
Okay, cool.
Next item for discussion on our agenda is committee liaison discussion. In the past, the Board of Selectmen has divided up the various boards and committees in town. Each member of the Board of Selectmen acted as a liaison between the different committees and this board, just as a sort of a point of contact for each one of the major committees. So we're looking to initiate that again. So I sprang it on these two guys this morning, so we're not ready to make any sort of a vote here yet, but we are looking for feedback. I'll ask each of my fellow board members to take a look at the list that was provided, that is what they had in the past, and if they have any sort of preferences, please email me separately, so we don't, not in any sort of violation here. And then we can discuss it at our next meeting and look to get some appointments made
So,
as liaisons.
so they should email me, not you.
Yeah, that too,
Yeah.
yes. yeah,
Instead
right.
of you, 'cause
Correct.
then it's two.
That's truly not a
people.
violation. Yes, as I said, email Bob. Thank you. You can tell it's my first meeting, right?
And Bob's email is
Second.
townadmin
But who's counting?
Well, the first one was easy.
Bob, do you want to give your email out?
Yeah, it's townadmin@plymptontown.org. I don't write it out very often.
So again, the expectation is not that the board members will actually attend all of the meetings, but it's just, if a committee has a specific question that they would, or an issue that they would like to be brought forth at the Board of Selectmen, they would, just a point of contact to get that done. Next item is email clarification and assignment for boards and committees. It's been discussed a few times over the past several months, and there's still some confusion on the usage of emails for the different town committees. I think what we need to discuss is what our preferences are. One proposal that has been made is that each board and committee has a general email address. Excuse me, I'll use the Finance Committee as an example, because it's one I'm familiar with from the past, where the Finance Committee has an email address, finance@plymptontown.org. All committee members would not have their own separate email address. Anything coming from the Finance Committee would be using that town email address. Elected boards and committees would have the option of each member having their own personal email address. But we don't want every single member of every single board and committee in town to have a separate email address. We don't think that's necessary, and it would be kind of cumbersome to maintain. So that is our proposal. There would also be the option for each board and committee at their discretion to have an administrative email address. So again, using finance as an example, they could have financeadmin@plymptontown.org. Some boards and committees have an administrative assistant, and that would obviously be an appropriate usage for that email address. Further, we are recommending that, for consistency, that the town website utilize the board email address as the point of contact for the public. So again, if someone wanted to reach out to the Finance Committee, they would know that they could go on the website, there would be a link there where they could email the Finance Committee directly by clicking on the link, and it would go to finance@plymptontown.org. Each board and committee would be set up on the website that way. So again, for consistency purposes, for the public to reach out, they could do that. Ms. Hart?
Just a question, so some reports, like things that I send right now to say Finance Committee, I send it to Finance Committee at plymptontown.org, but I also send it to individual members. You want me to stop doing that?
Yes.
Yes.
So these boards are aware that they need to start looking at those email addresses.
That's
I
correct.
will send something out.
Yeah, we're good. Obviously, this is kind of a moving target. We've been sort of refining this as we go along and as questions come up. And so, we are looking, there was a policy established a few months ago that was sent around by the previous town administrator. We're looking just to kind of, continue to clarify it. We will resend it out with these recommendations. Mrs. Cronin?
Does that mean that each member of the board would need access to that email in order to be checking it, or?
Typically, the chairperson has access, and then they distribute as needed.
I know, Amy, you had reached out to me about every member. That was gonna become huge.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
good.
and that
I'm
was
with
good,
this.
right.
I just wanted to make sure we were following the rules.
But it was a very good example when you reached out and said, does that mean everybody's gonna have, and it was like a red
We need
flag
to
of,
vote on
wow,
that,
this
Bob.
could get huge.
Yes.
So,
Delineation.
yeah, we said no Gmails, no
So it's not really
Yahoos, no,
set things, there's nothing to vote.
it just opens up Pandora's box for, records requests and everything else, and open meeting law violations, so if it can just be sent out to the chair, and if your board or committee wants, like Nate said, to have an admin, like I am their admin. Board of Health has a Board of Health, and they have an admin. That's different, and then it can just distribute it out, and however you wanna do that, that's different. But at least we could reach out directly to you. This is what it is, this is the invite. When I reach out to town properties, and then they let me know who was gonna come today.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
And again, we'll be refining that policy and sending it out to all boards and committees.
And our IT specialist will be available on Thursdays, is usually his day, that if you can't get it on your laptop or iPad or whatever device you use, we will help you get that onto your phone or whatever you choose for communication. He's usually here on Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock, and he stays for a couple of hours, and that's not unless it's a holiday. Like this week, we have Juneteenth, and because it's a Friday, we will not be open on Thursday, so he is coming tomorrow. But you can always reach out and ask me what's it, when, but it's usually Thursdays. And he goes department to department, so.
Okay, our next item is a request for 2 one-day liquor licenses on October 17 and October 18 by Mayflower Market Days. It's their semi-annual event that they had, and I know this is a routine request, and to my knowledge, there's never been any issues, so I'll entertain a motion to approve those 2 liquor licenses.
Second.
No, motion.
I move, okay, all right, he seconds. We gotta work on this. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, thank you.
He's gonna sign right here.
Similarly, we have a request by the Old Townhouse for use of the, request by the Historical Society for use of the Old Townhouse on the following dates, June through August, sort of open-ended, adult and children's summer reading program based on the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. August 23rd at 2 p.m., a concert at the gazebo by the Busted Jug Band. September 13th at 2 p.m., an ice cream social to celebrate the summer reading program at the library. October 4th at 1 p.m., a cemetery tour with Stephen O'Neill to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. That's to be held in the cemetery. And then lastly, as previously mentioned, October 17 and 18, Mayflower Days Fall Festival. The Historical Society will have a booth at that festival. I'll make a motion to approve the use of town property on those previously mentioned days.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have several appointments to be made today. I will just read through the list. If there is any discussion, we'll do it sort of town meeting style. I'll read through the list. If there's any discussion, please put a hold, and we'll discuss it. Otherwise, we will approve the whole list at the end. Daniel Cadigan, appointed as the advisory board representative to the MBTA, with Dana Smith as the alternate for fiscal '27.
The whole
You
comes from
can't
the
put a
board.
hold on it.
Oh, I can't?
No.
It's like, wait a minute.
Board meeting.
Stay in your
Really
lane.
like town meetings.
Stay in your lane, Mark.
How do you get a question in about it? You don't?
Sure, what's your question?
Is there a conflict of interest with his association with the MBTA?
It's a fair question.
I don't see a conflict, but it's up to Dan to.
I don't work directly for the MBTA. I work for a contractor that works for the MBTA.
Yeah.
I don't see a conflict.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, appreciate you raising the issue. Daniel Cadigan, do you want- he doesn't work for GATRA either, as designee for the GATRA Advisory Board for fiscal '27. Nathaniel Sides to the Plymouth County Advisory Board as a town designee for fiscal '27. Nathaniel Sides to the Old Colony Planning Council as a town designee for fiscal '27. Robert Furlot to the Old Colony Joint Transportation Committee as the town delegate for fiscal '27. We'll vote on those for now. I'll make a motion to approve those appointments as listed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. For the appointments to the various boards and committees for the town, again, I will just read through the whole list. For the Agricultural Commission, we have Cassandra Gilmore and Scott Sawchuk, both appointed for a term of 3 years to expire in June 30, 2029. For the Area 58 Community Access TV, Michael Slauson, 3-year term, June 30th, 2029. Board of Library Trustees, Colby Leoncio, apologize if I'm butchering that name, 3-year term expiring in 5/15 of 2027, so it's completion of a 3-year term. Board of Registrars, Nancy Butler, 3-year term to expire in 2029. Building Department, the Building Inspector, William Kelly Jr., and the alternate Building Inspector, Paul Armstrong, a 1-year term to expire June 30, 2027. Community Preservation Commission, Paul D'Angelo and Gabriella Falconieri, 3-year terms to expire June 2029. Conservation Commission, Richard Burnett, 3-year term to expire June of 2029. Brian Vassa as the Conservation Commission agent, 1-year term to expire June of 2027. Council on Aging, we have Cynthia Bloomquist and Nancy Butler, 3-year terms to expire June of 2029. For the Cultural Council, Heather Sanda, a 3-year term to expire in June of 2029. Director of Elder Services, Colleen Thompson, a 1-year term, expire in June of 2027. Historic District Commission, 3-year terms, Richard Stover, Michael Slauson, to expire June of 2029. Open Space Committee, 3-year terms, Sarah Grace Kelly, Jackie Rafferty, Alan Wheelock, to expire June of 2029. The Plumbing and Gas Inspector, 1-year term, expiring in June of 2027, Douglas Hawthorne Jr. 2 alternates, Thomas Bouchard and Mark Empoliti, again, 1-year terms, June of 2027. In the Police Department, we have a 1-year appointment as a part-time officer for Timothy Johnson, expiring June of 2027. Special Police Officers, all 1-year terms expiring in June of 2027 for Gary Burlow, Mark Gabriel, Brian Rhodes, Matthew Hickey, John O'Connor, and Thomas Reed. For the Town Administrator, he's here until we don't need him anymore, Robert Fennessy.
As the interim.
That's interesting.
Interim, yes, I'm sorry, yes, interim town administrator. Treasurer Collector's Office, Christina Stewart, a 1-year term expiring June of 2027. Veteran Services Agent, Roxanne Whitbeck, 1-year term, June of 2027. The co-wiring inspectors, 1-year terms, June of 2027, Stephen Ellis and Linus Varley. Zoning Board of Appeals, 3-year terms, Lucas Kowalski as the board member and David Alberti as the associate board member. And then finally, for the zoning enforcement, we have 1-year terms expiring in June of 2027 for Thomas Milius as the zoning enforcement officer and Kathy Canizo as the co-zoning enforcement officer. Any discussion on any of those appointments? Hearing none, I will make a motion to accept all of those appointments as listed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have just an update for public information on the search for a new town administrator. I had a conversation with the vendor this morning. Search is proceeding along appropriately. The screening committee has done their work. They interviewed or reviewed in the neighborhood of 30 applicants, narrowed the list down to a list of 7 or 8 that they interviewed, and then they have identified some finalists that are unknown to the Board of Selectmen at this time for consideration. The vendor, Community Paradigm, is presently conducting background searches and things on the list of finalists, and they will be presenting to the Board of Selectmen at our next meeting on June 29th, at which point the candidates will be identified, and then we will schedule the final interviews with the Board of Selectmen, ideally sometime right around the 4th of July holiday, just after the 4th of July holiday. So that's sort of the latest on that process. And again, at this point, none of us are aware of any of the candidates. Well, I guess I hope you don't mind, I can
No,
say,
it's-
our current interim has applied for the position. So he's the only one I know of that has applied, so.
So on 6/29,
Yes.
we'll announce the 4 finalists?
I
They will-
believe that's the intent, yes. Bernie Lynch will be coming in to make a presentation to us, and at that point, he will present us with the list of finalists that presumably have passed the background check and all of that. We have an update on paid warrants?
Yeah. The warrants are $19,501.20. We have Eversource Gas. We had a little South Shore, we had a drain problem, got that fixed in the men's room. Sarian Water, monthly update on that. KP Law, Local Computer, Abishan, Amazon, Wind Waste, our normal Plympton service, Pitney Bowes, WB Mason for some supplies, and also Amazon for the Memorial Day, the flags and everything, all of that stuff has come in. So,
Thank you. Town administrator updates.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the budget. Lisa Hart and I, the town accountant, I've been working on the budget, making sure that as we get close to the end of the fiscal year, which is only 2 weeks away, we will make sure that all the line items either fit or can fit. The cutoff date for the town to finalize the budget is July 15th. So the goal is to make sure that we're within the statutory limitation of July 15th and make sure that any transfers that go interdepartmental from one department to another to balance the budget is done before that point. I want to congratulate a number of departments that stayed fully within their budget, even though those budgets were put together some 16 months ago and looking down the road of what they may need. Some budgets went over because of situations that occur that were not known 16 months ago when the budget was put together and approved. So it's one of those things that happens every year in every single town, where you look to move from an excess budget to a deficit budget to balance it off. So probably at the next meeting, we'll have that first round for the board. We're well within the bottom line budget of the town, so that's not an issue. We don't need to have a special. So I was going to ask Lisa if she wanted to add anything to that. Are you good with that?
No, I'm good with that. It looked fairly decent. There's a couple of big ones, that have big deficits. But a lot of departments, like you said, will stay well within their budget, so it should be money to close out the year.
That's good news.
Good news. Second thing I have is that I'm in the process of reviewing and developing policies where needed. A lot of HR policies need updating badly. That's kind of one of my fortes. So first ones that I did, and I'm passing them to certain employees in town to give them an idea, or give me the idea of whether they think that works in Plympton. The first ones are the onboarding and offboarding properly of employees. And that's important because you can't just let somebody go and then that's the end of it. It opens the town up for liability and other things. So we want to make sure that we cover all the bases on those. And there's a number of them that need to be reviewed and if anything, at least updated to incorporate current discrimination laws and other things. The second part of that is looking at all the job descriptions, because again, they're ancient here. I'm working on one with the highway department. They have an opening right now, and we're working on modifying the job description and making sure that everything is properly done. So those in the process. And the last thing I have is just a shout out to Jason Frazier. He was reappointed by Governor Healy to the Local Government Advisory Commission. And that's important because it gives him the opportunity to speak directly to the Lieutenant Governor and the secretaries of the Commonwealth on budgets, on finance, on infrastructure needs of small communities like Plympton. So it's great to have him on that board. He's an advocate for the town, and I just want to congratulate him for getting reappointed too.
Yeah, it certainly works to our advantage to have such access.
It sure does.
Mr. Frazier works very hard. Thank you. Any other correspondence that we have, Bree?
Yes. We have a resignation letter, and it's from the highway gentleman, from Robert Hathaway. Last day was June 12th, from the highway department. We wish him the best of luck.
Yes, we do. Anything else?
As well.
Okay. As folks may be aware, the Board of Selectmen had a continuation scheduled for tomorrow for the application by SLT for their earth removal permit. That meeting has been postponed, so there will be no meeting tomorrow for the earth removal permit. The next meeting of the Board of Selectmen, as has been mentioned previously, will be 2 weeks from today. We're trying to get into a rhythm of meeting every other week for consistency purposes and so that the public knows and can expect, and we can all sort of plan our lives. Obviously, as situations dictate, we'll be flexible, but generally speaking, we're looking to meet every other week, the second and fourth Mondays of the month. Anyone wishing to have a matter considered by the Board of Selectmen at a future meeting should please submit it via email to the Board of Selectmen Administrative Assistant. Again, that email address is bosassistant@plimptontown.org with a description of the topic and why you wish to appear before the board. Any supporting documentation, whatever, should be added. All requests will be reviewed and added to a future agenda as appropriate. Would either of my fellow selectmen care to comment on anything, or I've already issued my thanks for the Flag Day celebration yesterday. Anything else?
Yeah, just kudos to Bree once again for doing all that she does and everybody else that volunteered for it. And we had a pretty good turnout for a short-term thing and also for the good weather and
Yeah, absolutely.
multiple conflicts. The kids did a great job. It was great to see them be able to come out and be able to do what they were gonna do on Memorial Day. So, but all in all, yeah, it was a great day. We've definitely held up with the weather, so that's for certain.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
that's all I got.
Yeah, anything?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned, 2:40 PM. Thank you.